The alarm shrieked through the silence of space, jerking Marcus Anderson awake from a deep slumber. His eyes fluttered open, disoriented by the flashing red lights that pulsed throughout his small cabin aboard the Celestial Pioneer, humanity's first interstellar research vessel. Something had gone terribly wrong. Warning, collision imminent. All personnel report to emergency stations, the ship's AI announced in its monotone voice. Marcus fumbled with his safety harness, heart pounding as he tried to process what was happening. He had signed up for this 5-year mission to study a newly discovered solar system, not to die in the cold vacuum of space. As the ship's geologist, he wasn't trained for emergency protocols beyond the basics. Before he could reach the door, a violent impact sent him flying across the cabin. His head slammed against the metal wall, and darkness consumed him. When Marcus regained consciousness, the first thing he noticed was the ceiling, if you could call it that. Instead of the familiar gray metal panels of the Celestial Pioneer, he was staring at a translucent surface that seemed to shimmer with bioluminescent patterns. The second thing he noticed was the pain, a throbbing headache that made him wince when he tried to move. "Subject is conscious," said a voice that sounded like someone speaking through water. Marcus attempted to sit up, but found himself restrained on what felt like an examination table. Panic surged through him as he turned his head to locate the source of the voice. What he saw made his blood run cold. Standing beside him was a tall, slender being with iridescent blue skin that seemed to ripple like water. Its large, almond-shaped eyes were solid black, lacking any visible pupil or iris. A breathing apparatus covered where its mouth should be, and 6 elongated fingers worked deftly over what appeared to be some sort of holographic control panel. An alien. He was looking at an actual alien. "Where am I?" Marcus croaked, his throat dry and voice barely above a whisper. The alien tilted its head, the movement fluid and unnatural. It made a series of clicking sounds before removing the breathing apparatus, revealing a small mouth with no visible lips. "You are in the medical bay of the Voxul exploration vessel Harmonic Resonance," the alien replied in perfect English, though the voice had an odd, reverberating quality. "I am Dr. Zaref, Chief Medical Officer. Your vessel was on a collision course with an asteroid field. We intercepted and brought you aboard." Marcus tried to process this information. "The others, my crew, all 17 humans from your vessel have been recovered and are being treated for various injuries. You sustained a significant head trauma and required immediate attention." The restraints around Marcus suddenly retracted into the table, allowing him to sit up. The room spun momentarily, and he grabbed the edge of the table to steady himself. "I need to assess your neurological functions," Dr. Zaref said, approaching with what looked like a handheld scanner. "This is non-invasive. Please remain still." Too stunned to argue, Marcus complied as the alien physician moved the device around his head. The scanner emitted a soft blue light that pulsed rhythmically. "Fascinating," Dr. Zaref murmured. "Your brain structure is similar to our simulations, but the activity patterns are quite different. You've studied humans before, only through intercepted data transmissions. You are the first humans we have physically encountered." Marcus wasn't sure if that was reassuring or terrifying. The scanner suddenly emitted a high-pitched beep when it passed over the right side of his jaw. Dr. Zaref's eyes widened at least. The alien's expression seemed to convey surprise. "There are multiple metal objects embedded in your facial structure," the alien doctor announced with alarm. "Foreign bodies located primarily in the upper and lower jaw regions." "What?" Marcus reached up to touch his face, confused. Dr. Zaref moved quickly to a larger scanning device and motioned for Marcus to lie down again. This will provide a more detailed image. I need to determine if these metal implants are dangerous. Metal implants. I don't have any. Marcus stopped mid-sentence as realization dawned on him. He couldn't help but laugh, despite the situation. Dr. Zaref froze, clearly confused by this reaction. You find this amusing. These metal objects could be dangerous or indicate some form of invasive procedure performed on you. Marcus shook his head, still smiling. Those aren't implants. I have dental fillings. The alien doctor stared at him blankly. Dental fillings? Yes, they're small pieces of metal used to repair teeth that have been damaged by decay. It's a common medical procedure on Earth. Dr. Zaref seemed genuinely perplexed. You intentionally place metal inside your mouth. For what purpose? To fix our teeth when they develop cavities, small holes caused by bacteria. The metal fills in the damaged area and prevents further decay. The alien made some notes on the holographic display. Remarkable. Your species uses primitive metal alloys as internal medical repairs rather than regenerative techniques. Marcus felt slightly offended by the term primitive, but couldn't argue with the assessment. I guess we haven't figured out how to regenerate body parts yet, Doctor. Zaref moved closer, curiosity evident in his posture. May I examine these fillings more closely? This could provide valuable insight into human medical practices. Marcus hesitated but nodded. After all, he was completely at the alien's mercy, and Dr. Zaref had so far been nothing but professional. Open your mouth, please, the alien instructed. Feeling somewhat self-conscious, Marcus complied. Dr. Zaref produced a small light and peered inside. Fascinating, the alien physician said. The metal appears to be bonded directly to the organic tooth structure, and I detect multiple different alloys. Are these different types of fillings? Marcus closed his mouth. Some are newer than others. Dental technology has improved over time. The older ones are probably silver amalgam, and the newer ones are composite materials that match the color of teeth. Dr. Zaref seemed genuinely intrigued. And these do not cause discomfort or rejection. The metal simply remains in your body indefinitely. Generally, yes. Sometimes they need to be replaced, but they can last for many years. The alien doctor stepped back, appearing to contemplate this information. I would like to document this for our medical database, with your permission. We have never encountered a species that uses metal in this manner for repair of masticatory organs. Masticatory? You mean teeth? Sure, I guess. Dr. Zaref activated a different scanning device and began recording detailed images of Marcus's dental work. While this was happening, another alien entered the medical bay. This one was slightly shorter, with skin that leaned more toward green than blue. Dr. Zaref, the captain requests an update on the human patients, the newcomer said. Inform Captain Veller that most are stable with minor injuries. 2 require surgical intervention for internal hemorrhaging, but their prognosis is positive. And I have made a fascinating discovery about human medical practices. Dr. Zaref gestured toward Marcus. They deliberately implant metal into their oral cavities as a treatment method. The second alien looked at Marcus with what might have been concern. Is this some form of primitive enhancement technology? Are the metals weapons or communication devices? Marcus couldn't help but laugh again. No, they're just fillings. They're completely harmless. The second alien didn't seem convinced. Captain Veller will want to verify this. Our protocols for unknown technology are quite strict. Dr. Zaref nodded. I will prepare a full report. In the meantime, I would like to continue my examination of this human. His name is Marcus Anderson, according to the identification in his garments. Marcus felt a chill. They had been through his clothes while he was unconscious. "I have questions of my own," Marcus said, trying to sound more confident than he felt. "What happened to our ship? When can we return to it? And where exactly are we?" Dr. Zaref turned back to him. "Your vessel sustained significant damage. Our engineers are assessing whether repairs are possible. As for our location, we are approximately 2.7 light-years from your previous position, heading away from your solar system." "What?" Marcus felt his stomach drop. "We're moving away from Earth. You need to turn around." "That decision rests with Captain Veller," Dr. Zaref replied calmly. "We are on an exploratory mission with a predetermined course. Deviations require substantial justification." Marcus tried to stand, but a wave of dizziness forced him back down. "You can't just abduct us and take us further from home." "We saved you from certain death," the second alien interjected. "Your gratitude is lacking." Dr. Zaref raised a hand in what seemed to be a placating gesture. "Krell, humans have different social customs, and Marcus is still recovering from trauma." The doctor turned back to Marcus. "Rest assured, your well-being is our priority. Once we understand more about your needs and capabilities, we can discuss arrangements for your return journey." Marcus wasn't reassured. "I need to see my crew." "Most are still undergoing treatment or are resting," Dr. Zaref explained. "However, I can arrange for you to see those who are conscious once I complete my examination." Marcus reluctantly agreed, seeing no alternative. Dr. Zaref continued the scan, occasionally making notes or murmuring observations to himself. "These dental fillings," the alien doctor said after a while, "they represent an interesting approach to medical treatment. Rather than stimulating natural healing or regeneration, you simply replace the damaged portion with an artificial substitute." "It works," Marcus replied defensively. "Indeed. Simple but effective for your level of technological development." Dr. Zaref paused, considering something. "I wonder, do you use similar approaches for other body parts? We have artificial joints, heart valves, even entire limbs sometimes. But we're still working on making them as good as the original parts." Dr. Zaref seemed genuinely fascinated. "Your species adapts to physical limitations through external technology rather than biological modification. This explains much about your spacecraft design as well: rigid, compartmentalized, with mechanical rather than organic systems." The examination continued for what felt like hours, with Dr. Zaref asking increasingly detailed questions about human physiology, medical practices, and daily life. Marcus answered as best he could, realizing that he was essentially serving as an ambassador for humanity in this first contact situation. Finally, Dr. Zaref declared the examination complete. "Your head injury is healing well. I have administered a neural regeneration stimulant that should accelerate recovery. You may experience mild disorientation and headaches for approximately 48 hours, but there should be no permanent damage." "Thanks," Marcus said, not sure what else to say to an alien doctor who had just treated him. "I will arrange for you to see some of your crewmates now," Dr. Zaref said, gesturing toward the door. "Krell will escort you." Marcus followed the green-tinted alien through corridors that seemed to be a blend of technology and organic material. The walls pulsed with the same bioluminescent patterns he had noticed earlier, and the floor had a slight give to it, almost like walking on firm moss. "Your vessel employs biological components," Marcus observed, trying to make conversation. Krell glanced back at him. "Of course. All advanced civilizations integrate living systems with technology. It is more efficient and self-sustaining." They arrived at a larger room where several of Marcus's crewmates were sitting or lying on beds similar to the one he had woken up on. He immediately recognized Sarah Jenkins, the ship's botanist, and Dr. Rajiv Patel, their medical officer. "Marcus," Sarah exclaimed when she saw him. "You're okay." "More or less," he replied, moving to her side. "How about you?" "Broken arm," she said, holding up a limb encased in what looked like a translucent gel cast. "Their medical technology is amazing. They said this will heal completely in 3 days." Dr. Patel approached, looking both professionally curious and personally relieved. "Marcus, good to see you up. These aliens, the Voxul, they call themselves, have been treating all of us. Their medical capabilities are decades beyond ours. Have they told you anything about our ship? Or getting home?" Marcus asked in a lower voice. Dr. Patel's expression grew serious. "The Celestial Pioneer is severely damaged. From what I understand, they're trying to salvage what they can, but it won't fly again without major repairs." This news hit Marcus hard. The Celestial Pioneer was supposed to be their home for 5 years, and their only way back to Earth. What about communication? Can we send a message back to Earth? Sarah shook her head. "They say their communication technology works differently than ours. They're still trying to figure out how to make our systems compatible with theirs." Before they could discuss further, another alien entered the room. This one had darker blue skin with gold patterns tracing across its surface, and wore what appeared to be a more elaborate uniform. "I am Captain Veller," the alien announced. "I trust you are finding our accommodations adequate." Marcus stepped forward. "Captain, we appreciate your rescue, but we need to discuss returning to our home system." Captain Veller's head tilted in that same fluid motion Marcus had seen from Dr. Zaref. "That presents certain challenges. Your vessel is beyond repair with our current resources, and we are on a mission that takes us in the opposite direction from your planet. Then drop us at the nearest outpost or station where we can arrange transport," Marcus suggested. "There are no outposts or stations in this region of space," Captain Veller replied. "The nearest populated system is several months away at our maximum velocity." Marcus felt a growing sense of dread. "So you're saying we're stranded on your ship?" "For the time being, yes. However, I have consulted with my senior officers, and we may have a solution. Our mission involves surveying multiple star systems. In approximately 7 months, we will reach a system that contains a trading hub frequented by various species. There, we may be able to arrange transport for you back toward your home world." 7 months. Marcus exchanged glances with Sarah and Dr. Patel. It wasn't ideal, but it was something. "In the meantime," Captain Veller continued, "Dr. Zaref has informed me of your interesting medical adaptations. These metal implants in your oral cavities particularly intrigue us." Marcus couldn't believe dental fillings were becoming such a focus of interest. "They're just fillings, Captain. They're not advanced technology. Nevertheless, they represent an approach to medicine that is foreign to us. Dr. Zaref has requested permission to study them further, as well as other aspects of human physiology and medical practices. In exchange, we offer to share some of our medical knowledge with your physician." Captain Veller gestured toward Dr. Patel. Dr. Patel stepped forward eagerly. "That would be an unprecedented opportunity, Captain. The medical advances we could bring back to Earth." Marcus understood the excitement, but something felt off. "You want to study our dental fillings that badly?" Captain Veller's expression was unreadable. "It is not merely the fillings themselves, but what they represent about your species' approach to medicine and technology. We are explorers, Marcus Anderson. Knowledge is our primary objective." After some discussion, they reached an agreement. The human crew would be given comfortable quarters and freedom to move about certain areas of the ship. In return, they would participate in cultural and scientific exchange, with a particular focus on medical practices. Dr. Patel would work directly with Dr. Zaref, while the rest of the crew would assist in various capacities based on their expertise. Over the next few days, Marcus settled into a routine on the Voxul ship. The aliens were generally respectful and curious rather than hostile, though some seemed to view humans as primitive or unsophisticated. Marcus found himself repeatedly explaining aspects of human life that he had always taken for granted. 1 week after their rescue, Dr. Zaref requested Marcus's presence in the medical bay again. "We have been analyzing the composition of your dental fillings," the alien doctor explained as Marcus sat on the examination table. "The older ones contain an amalgam of mercury, silver, tin, and copper. The newer ones contain a composite resin with various minerals." "That sounds right," Marcus said, wondering where this was going. "What fascinates me is that you continue to use these materials even after discovering their potential toxicity. Mercury, in particular, is known to be hazardous to biological systems." Marcus shifted uncomfortably. "The amounts are very small, and they're bound in the amalgam. Most dentists now use the composite fillings instead." Dr. Zaref made a note on his holographic display. "This illustrates a common pattern we've observed in your species. You develop technologies and medical treatments with incomplete understanding of their long-term effects, then gradually refine them as problems emerge. Isn't that how progress works?" Marcus asked. "Trial and error, learning from mistakes. For young species, yes. More advanced civilizations tend to fully understand materials and processes before implementation." Dr. Zaref paused. "But there is something admirable about your approach. It shows remarkable adaptability and pragmatism." Marcus wasn't sure if he should feel complimented or insulted. "I have a proposal," Dr. Zaref continued. "With your permission, I would like to replace your metal fillings with a biocompatible material that would integrate with your natural tooth structure and stimulate regeneration of the damaged areas." Marcus blinked in surprise. "You're offering me alien dental work. I have consulted with Dr. Patel to ensure compatibility with human physiology. The procedure would be painless and completed in a single session." "And what's in it for you?" Dr. Zaref's expression shifted slightly. "Primarily, it allows us to document the entire process of replacing your primitive repairs with our advanced techniques, but it would also benefit you. The regenerative material would eventually transform into natural tooth structure, eliminating the need for artificial fillings entirely." Marcus considered the offer. It sounded like a good deal, but he couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the Voxul's interest in human dentistry than they were letting on. "I'd like to discuss this with Dr. Patel first," Marcus said. "Of course. He is currently in the secondary laboratory with my assistant. I will summon him." While they waited, Dr. Zaref showed Marcus some of the data they had collected on human physiology. The aliens had created detailed three-dimensional models of human organs and systems, highlighting areas they found particularly interesting or unusual. "Your digestive system is remarkably resilient," Dr. Zaref noted. "The variety of substances you can consume without ill effect exceeds that of many species we have encountered." "Is that unusual?" Marcus asked. "Many species evolve to process a narrow range of nutrients efficiently." "Your omnivorous capabilities suggest an evolutionary history of adaptation to varying food sources and environmental conditions." Before they could delve deeper into human digestion, Dr. Patel arrived, looking excited. "Marcus, you wouldn't believe what I'm learning about regenerative medicine," he said enthusiastically. The Voxul approach to tissue repair is revolutionary. They use biologically programmed nanomaterials that actually integrate with cellular structures and stimulate natural healing processes. Dr. Zaref wants to use this technology on my teeth, Marcus explained. Dr. Patel nodded eagerly. I've reviewed the procedure. It's completely safe and non-invasive. The material they use is inert until activated, then it gradually transforms into natural tooth structure over about 3 weeks. No side effects, no rejection issues. And you're sure it's safe? Absolutely. I've seen it used on tissue samples we provided. The results are remarkable. Dr. Patel lowered his voice slightly. Marcus, this is a chance to experience technology that's centuries ahead of anything we have on Earth. Put that way, it was hard to refuse. Marcus agreed to the procedure, which was scheduled for the following day. When he returned to the medical bay, Dr. Zaref had prepared a special chair that reconfigured itself to perfectly support Marcus's body. The alien explained each step of the procedure in detail before beginning. This device will temporarily suppress the nerve signals in your teeth and surrounding tissues, Dr. Zaref said, holding up what looked like a small, glowing disc. You will remain fully conscious but feel no discomfort. The procedure itself was surreal. Marcus watched on a floating holographic display as Dr. Zaref methodically removed each of his old fillings and replaced them with a shimmering, opalescent material that seemed to flow like liquid before solidifying. The entire process took less than an hour. The regenerative process will begin immediately, Dr. Zaref explained when it was complete. You may notice a slight tingling sensation as the neural pathways in your teeth re-establish themselves. This is normal and indicates successful integration. Marcus ran his tongue over his teeth. They felt smoother than before, with no detectable difference between the treated areas and the natural tooth surface. Thank you, he said, genuinely impressed. This is remarkable technology. Dr. Zaref seemed pleased. I am glad you are satisfied. We have recorded the entire procedure for our medical database. This represents the first documented case of Voxul regenerative dentistry performed on a human subject. Over the next few weeks, Marcus continued to participate in various research sessions with Dr. Zaref and other Voxul scientists. They were particularly interested in human adaptability and resilience, conducting numerous tests on how Marcus and his crewmates responded to different environments and stimuli. During one such session, Marcus noticed something odd. Dr. Zaref and another scientist were discussing something in their native language, occasionally glancing at a display showing what appeared to be a scan of Marcus's jaw. Is something wrong with my teeth? Marcus asked. Dr. Zaref turned to him. Not wrong precisely. We have detected an unexpected development. The regenerative material is functioning as intended, but it appears to be establishing a more extensive neural network than anticipated within your dental structures. What does that mean? Your teeth are developing enhanced sensitivity not to pain, but to vibration and pressure. It is a fascinating adaptation that we did not predict. Marcus frowned. Is it dangerous? No, merely unexpected. It appears that human neural architecture is more receptive to certain aspects of our technology than our models predicted. Something about the way Dr. Zaref said this made Marcus uneasy. What exactly will this enhanced sensitivity do? It should provide you with a more precise awareness of pressure when chewing, potentially preventing damage to your teeth in the future. A beneficial side effect, though not our intended outcome. Marcus wasn't entirely convinced, but Dr. Zaref had been forthright so far, and Dr. Patel continued to monitor all the medical procedures performed on the human crew. As the weeks passed, the human crew became more integrated into life aboard the harmonic resonance. They were assigned duties based on their skills and began to form relationships with some of the Voxul crew. Marcus worked primarily with the science team, helping them understand Earth's geological formations based on the data they had collected from human broadcasts and the information stored in the Celestial Pioneers databases. 3 months into their journey, Marcus began experiencing strange sensations. At first, it was just an occasional buzzing feeling in his jaw, especially when he was near certain equipment on the ship. He mentioned it to Dr. Patel during one of their regular checkups. "It's probably just the neural network in your new dental work settling in," Dr. Patel suggested. Dr. Zaref mentioned that you might experience some unusual sensations as the regenerative process completed. "It's been 3 months," Marcus pointed out. "Shouldn't it be done by now?" "Their technology works differently than ours. I'll ask Dr. Zaref about it, but I don't think it's anything to worry about." The sensations continued, however, and seemed to be getting stronger. Marcus also noticed that he could sometimes tell when they were approaching another ship or celestial body before any announcements were made. It was as if he could feel the subtle vibrations through his teeth. During dinner one evening with Sarah and some of the other crew members, Marcus mentioned these experiences. "It's weird," he said. "It's like I can feel the ship's systems through my teeth." Sarah looked concerned. "Have you told Dr. Zaref about this?" "Not yet, Doctor." Patel said it was normal, but Marcus trailed off as he felt a sudden sharp sensation in his jaw. "There, it's happening again. It feels like we're changing course." 10 minutes later, the ship's announcement system confirmed that they were indeed altering course to investigate an unusual stellar phenomenon. The coincidence was too precise to ignore. Marcus went directly to the medical bay, where he found Dr. Zaref reviewing data. "My teeth are picking up signals from the ship," Marcus said without preamble. "What did you really put in my mouth?" Dr. Zaref looked up, his expression unreadable. "I was wondering when you would notice." The regenerative material contains neural enhancers that have integrated with your dental nerve pathways. They are responding to the subtle vibrations and electromagnetic fields produced by our ship's systems. "You turned my teeth into some kind of sensor array without telling me." Marcus was incredulous. "Not precisely. We simply used a more advanced version of the regenerative material than we initially disclosed. We were curious to see how human neural pathways would interact with it." "That's not what I agreed to." Dr. Zaref tilted his head. "Would you have understood the full implications if we had explained? The technology involved is centuries beyond your current science." "That's not the point." Marcus was struggling to control his anger. "You performed an unauthorized experiment on me, an experiment with no harmful effects, Doctor." Zaref countered. "In fact, it has given you enhanced perceptual abilities. Many would consider this a gift." "A gift I didn't ask for. What else is this gift doing that I don't know about?" Dr. Zaref hesitated before responding. "The neural enhancers are designed to integrate with biological systems. In some Voxul patients, they eventually establish connections with the central nervous system, allowing for more direct interaction with our technology." Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. "You're saying this stuff could spread from my teeth to my brain?" "It would not spread in the way you imply. Any integration would be gradual and non-invasive." "Remove it," Marcus demanded. "All of it, now." "I'm afraid that's not possible," Dr. Zaref said. "The material has already transformed into living tissue. Removing it would cause significant damage to your dental structures." Marcus was about to respond when Captain Veller entered the medical bay. "I was informed of a disturbance," the captain said, looking between Marcus and Dr. Zaref. "Your doctor put some kind of neural technology in my fillings without my consent," Marcus explained angrily. "I'm picking up signals from your ship through my teeth." Captain Veller turned to Dr. Zaref. "Is this accurate?" "I used the advanced regenerative formula rather than the basic version," Dr. Zaref admitted. "The opportunity to study how human neural architecture interfaces with our technology was too valuable to ignore." "You exceeded your authority," Captain Veller said, his tone stern. "All experimental procedures were to be fully disclosed and approved." "The procedure itself was approved. I merely used a different grade of material. A material with significantly different properties and implications." Captain Veller turned to Marcus. "I apologize for this breach of protocol. Dr. Zaref will be disciplined accordingly." "That doesn't solve my problem," Marcus pointed out. "I still have alien tech in my teeth that's connecting to my nervous system." Captain Veller considered this. "The neural enhancers cannot be removed without causing damage, but they can be deactivated. The process would leave the regenerated tooth structure intact while neutralizing the responsive elements of the enhancers." "Do it," Marcus said firmly. Dr. Zaref looked like he wanted to object, but remained silent under Captain Veller's gaze. "I will oversee the procedure personally," Captain Veller assured Marcus. "And I will ensure that Dr. Patel is present as well." The deactivation procedure was scheduled for the following day. When Marcus arrived at the medical bay, both Dr. Patel and Captain Veller were waiting with Dr. Zaref, who looked distinctly uncomfortable. "I have reviewed the proposed deactivation process," Dr. Patel told Marcus. "It's safe and should eliminate the sensory effects you're experiencing without affecting the structural integrity of the dental work." The procedure itself was simpler than the original one. Dr. Zaref used a device that emitted a specific frequency to neutralize the active components in the neural enhancers. Marcus felt a strange tingling sensation throughout his jaw as the device worked, and then a sudden absence like a background noise he hadn't realized was there until it stopped. "The enhancers have been successfully deactivated," Dr. Zaref confirmed after scanning Marcus's jaw. "You should no longer experience any unusual sensations or perceptions." "Why did you really do this?" Marcus asked as he sat up. "What were you hoping to learn?" Dr. Zaref glanced at Captain Veller before responding. "Your species' neural architecture is unique among those we have studied. The way your nervous system integrates external stimuli and adapts to changes is remarkable. I wanted to see how it would interact with our technology, which is designed to establish symbiotic relationships with biological systems." "You could have just asked. Would you have understood what you were agreeing to? The concept of neural technological integration is beyond your current scientific paradigm." "That should have been my choice to make," Marcus insisted. Captain Veller intervened. "You are correct, Marcus Anderson. Dr. Zaref's actions violated our ethical protocols for interaction with other species. He will face appropriate consequences." Marcus nodded, somewhat satisfied with this resolution. "What happens now?" "We continue on our journey," Captain Veller said. "In approximately 4 months, we will reach the trading hub I mentioned earlier. There, we should be able to arrange transport for your crew back toward your home system." Over the next few months, relations between the human crew and the Voxul remained cordial but somewhat strained. Dr. Zaref was removed from his position as Chief Medical Officer and reassigned to a research role with limited contact with the humans. His replacement, Dr. Neela, was more transparent and respectful of human autonomy. Marcus's dental work continued to function perfectly, with no return of the strange sensations. The regenerative process completed as promised, leaving him with teeth that were stronger and healthier than before, without any detectable difference from his natural dental structure. As they approached the trading hub, Captain Veller called the human crew together for a meeting. "We will reach Nexus Station in 3 days," the captain announced. "I have made inquiries and located a vessel that regularly travels between the hub and a system approximately 12 light-years from your home world. The captain has agreed to transport you in exchange for information about Earth and human culture." 12 light-years is still a long way from home, Sarah pointed out. "Yes, but from there, you should be able to find transport to cover the remaining distance. The region closer to your system is more frequently traveled. It wasn't ideal, but it was the best option they had." The human crew spent the next 3 days preparing for their departure, gathering the data and samples they had collected during their time aboard the harmonic resonance. On the day before they were scheduled to reach Nexus Station, Dr. Zaref requested to speak with Marcus. After some hesitation, Marcus agreed to meet him in one of the ship's observation rooms. "I wanted to apologize properly before you depart," Dr. Zaref said when Marcus arrived. "My scientific curiosity overrode my ethical judgment, and I betrayed your trust." Marcus studied the alien's posture and expression, trying to gauge his sincerity. "Why dental fillings? Of all the things about humans you could have studied, why focus on that?" Dr. Zaref's skin rippled slightly, which Marcus had come to recognize as a sign of deep thought or emotion. "Your dental fillings represented a perfect metaphor for humanity's approach to problem-solving," the alien doctor explained. "When faced with decay or damage, you don't simply accept it as inevitable. You intervene, using whatever technology is available to you, even if it's as basic as packing metal into a hole in your tooth. There is a resilience in that approach that fascinated me." Marcus hadn't expected such a philosophical answer. "And the neural enhancers, a step too far, Doctor," Zaref admitted. "I was eager to see how human neural pathways would interact with our technology. The results were even more remarkable than I anticipated. Your brain established connections with the enhancers more quickly and comprehensively than any non-Voxul species we have studied." "Is that why Captain Veller seemed so interested in the results?" Dr. Zaref hesitated. "The captain's interests are more strategic than scientific. The Voxul are not the only advanced species in this region of space, and understanding how different biological systems interact with technology has implications, military implications," Marcus guessed. "Let us say that knowledge is power and leave it at that." Dr. Zaref moved closer. "But I want you to know that the deactivation procedure was genuine. The enhancers are truly dormant now." Marcus nodded, accepting this. "I believe you. And despite everything, I appreciate the medical care you provided. The rest of my teeth feel better than they have in years. A small compensation for the inconvenience." Dr. Zaref produced a small, crystalline object. "This contains comprehensive data on the regenerative techniques we used, Dr. Patel has a copy as well, but I wanted you to have one personally. Perhaps someday, human medicine will advance to the point where you can utilize this knowledge." Marcus accepted the crystal, touched by the gesture. "Thank you." The following day, the harmonic resonance docked at Nexus Station, a massive, wheel-shaped structure teeming with ships and beings from dozens of different species. Captain Veller personally escorted the human crew to meet Captain Dresnik of the trading vessel Stellar Nomad, who would transport them on the next leg of their journey home. As they prepared to board the Stellar Nomad, Marcus turned to Captain Veller one last time. "Despite our differences, I want to thank you for rescuing us and for arranging our transport home." Captain Veller inclined his head. "Your species is young but shows great potential. Perhaps one day, humans will venture this far into space intentionally, and our peoples can establish more formal relations." "I hope so," Marcus replied. "And maybe by then, we'll have figured out better ways to fix our teeth." The captain's expression shifted in what might have been the Voxul equivalent of a smile. "I have no doubt that you will. Adaptability is humanity's greatest strength." As the human crew boarded the stellar Nomad and began the long journey that would eventually lead them back to Earth, Marcus reflected on all they had experienced. What had started with an alien doctor finding metal in his body had turned into a profound first-contact experience that would change humanity's understanding of the universe forever. And somewhere in the vastness of space, Marcus knew Dr. Zaref was probably still studying the data from his dental fillings, trying to unravel the mysteries of human resilience and adaptability. The thought made him smile as the stars streaked past the viewport, each one bringing him a step closer to home.